Good morning, ma'am, and this is Zoe Nicola Arloveo presenting the video report project on the three prisoners. So this is the example. The three prisoners that know that the jailer has three white hats and two red hats. The jailer puts a hat on the head of each prisoner and says, if you can deduce the color of your own hat, you'll be freed. A prisoner can see the hats on the other two prisoners, but not his own hat. The first prisoner says, I cannot tell the color of my hat. Then the second prisoner says, I cannot tell the color of my hat. And the third prisoner says, who is blind is able to determine the color of his hat and is freed. What is the color of the third prisoner's hat? And how did he know? So look at these 8 stages. The first prisoners, second prisoners, and the blind prisoners. For me, he is wearing a white hat because it is impossible since there are two only red hats. The first prisoner's flag and the second prisoner's flag, and the of course eliminated by the prisoner's statement. He's wearing a red hat. So there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 hats. And the white hats, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the red hats, I kind of, yeah, it's estimated by the second business as business hats. Um, maybe of course third prisoners already, yeah. The second estimated by the second prisoner's statement, red, white, red. So for me, my analogy is the of course the blind prisoner of the third prisoner is wearing a white hat. So let me let me pull a video of Fauzi explaining why I think the prisoners are wearing a white hat.
Hi mom, this is Fatina Fauzi, and this is the video presentation for our problem, which is the three prisoners. So three prisoners know that the jailer has three white hats and two red hats. The jailer puts a hat on the head of each prisoner and says, if you can deduce the color of your own hat, you will be free. So first prisoner says, I cannot tell the color of my hat. The second prisoner says the same, I cannot tell the color of my hat. The third prisoner, who is blind, is able to determine the color of his hat, and he was freed. Now the given is that the prisoner can see the hats of the other two prisoners, but not his own. So that's the given. So the third prisoner says he is able to determine it. He was freed, of course. So the problem is, what is the color of the third prisoner's hat, and how did he know, given that he's blind? So what we're going to do is we will understand and visualize the situation. Second, we're going to look at the possible ways or the possibilities for all the given colors of hats, and look at all the combinations and base it on the statements of the prisoners to figure out how the blind prisoner was able to determine the color of his hat. And we're going to show the table right here. So these are the 8 cases. 8 cases of possibilities where, or the 8 possible cases and combinations that they'll be wearing the hats. So looking at this part, these are the cases. This is prisoner 1, second, and the blind one. On the first one, they're all wearing the red hats, which is automatically voided, and it's very impossible because in the given there are only 2 red hats. So the first one, wala na yan. And then on the third one, the first prisoner would be wearing red, the second prisoner will be wearing white, and the blind prisoner will be wearing red. Now this case is also eliminated by the second prisoner statement. Why is that? Because the second prisoner says, I cannot tell the color of my hat. Now if he sees that the first prisoner and the blind prisoner is wearing red, and he knows that there are only 2 red hats available, he would be able to tell that color of his hat would be not red because there are only 2, which will be white. So this is impossible as well because he already said that he doesn't know the color of his hat. So 1 and 3 now are voided. And then we're looking at possible case number 5, where the first prisoner is wearing white, the second is wearing red, and the third is wearing red. Now this one is eliminated by the first prisoner statement. Why is that? Because again, going back to the given, every prisoner can see the other 2 colors on their caps, on their hats. So if indeed for the first prisoner can see that the other 2 are wearing the red hats, then he'd be able to tell that he'd most probably be wearing white because there are only 2 red hats in the given. So since he was not able to because he said his statement says he cannot determine the color of his hat, just like the second prisoner here. So this one is eliminated as well. The next one is number 7. When you look at first prisoner wearing white, the second one wearing white, and the third one wearing red, this one is voided as well because of the second prisoner statement, which is, I cannot tell the color of my hat. Which is basically the same because when he sees that the first prisoner is wearing white hat, and the third one is wearing a red hat, even if he looks at the given, there are 2 red hats and 3 white hats, he still wouldn't be able to tell which color of hat he has on, right? Because there will be, let's say the other one is wearing red and the first one is wearing white, there will be 1 red hat left and 2 white hat left. So there's no way for him to actually tell which hats that are left would he be wearing. So this one is eliminated as well. Now, having eliminated 1, 3, 5, and 7 possible cases, we're only left with 2, 4, 6, and 8, which is logically you only need to look at this one. In all the remaining cases, all of which the blind prisoner is wearing white, and that's exactly how he was able to figure out that even if the prisoner is wearing red, the first one is wearing red, or if the second prisoner is wearing red, or the first prisoner wearing white, if the second prisoner is wearing white or red, or all of them are wearing the white hats, he would still be wearing the white hats in all 1, 2, 3, 4 remaining cases. So that's why he was able to figure it out. And that's it. Thank you po. Thank you, ma'am.
So for the tale of the 3 prisoners, I'm using the coins as a representation for the hats. So 3 white hats for 3 1 peso coins and 2 5 peso coins for the red hats. So the only way for the blind prisoner to ever win is when all 3 prisoners are wearing white hats. The simple reason is, if at least one of the prisoners were to have a red hat, one of the prisoners who can see would simply immediately guess that he is wearing a red hat, even though he is not wearing a red hat. And if there are 2 red hats and one of them sees that there are 2, he can correctly guess that he is wearing a white hat. But in this case, when all 3 of them are wearing white hats, so even if he knows that there are 2 white hats, that it is possible that he would be wearing a white hat, he would not guess it because he is going to be afraid that he'll be wrong. But the blind man, who obviously cannot see, simply guesses that all 3 of them are wearing white hats, and that this is the only way in any scenario for the blind man to get out if he is wearing a white hat.